Well, hello, hello, hello. It's time to make the cards that came with your kit. And you actually received everything you need to finish these 5 cards, except for the adhesive or glue, whatever kind of adhesive that you're going to use. And I even did the stickle glitter gel in advance for this card. And I'm going to actually film a technique video after this one so I can show you how easy it is to apply this glitter gel. And I just love the end result when you use a stencil to make a background for your artwork, whether it's a card, a mini album, a scrapbook page, whatever you use. So in your kit, you would have gotten 5 envelopes. There's 4 standard size, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch, and 1 slimline. And if you notice in the upper right hand corner in a very light pencil, I put a name on each one of them so that I would make sure that you had the same kit readily available that I was demonstrating so that we would both have a way to identify it. This is in a very light pencil mark. You're going to be able to erase it after you're done. It's not going to be an issue at all. So I'm going to start with the one that says home in the upper left-hand corner. And so that's this one. It's kind of a farmhousey looking card, and I just really liked the look of it. So I'm going to move these over to the side so we have them in view as we're creating. And this is the finished card that we're going to work on. Here's the kit. When you take the cards out of your envelopes, be careful because all the pieces that you need are actually inside the card base itself. So in this case, you would have your card base, scarlet red piece of cardstock, and you can decide which shade you like better with your card. You would have this plaid piece. On the other side, it's poinsettia, I believe. Let me just double check. It is. If you wanted to switch it, you could. I'll show you what it would look like as I'm doing the assembly. And then this gold foil piece that's already been run through the die cutting machine with the fancy border thin cut that we have. So I'm going to go ahead and start assembling this. I'm going to use on the scarlet, I think I used the darker side. It's totally up to you. This has already been pre-cut, so it should allow about 1/8 of an inch all the way around your card base, like that. And then I'm going to put the plaid paper on next. And this has also been sized when it was cut so that it will allow the same type of spacing around that one. The next piece will be the gold foil thin cut with the fancy border and the little stitching around the border. I love this thin cut. And it's going to be, when you put it on, make it flush with the 2 scarlet edges. And it's going to be, it shows about just about 1/2 of an inch up from the bottom of the plaid piece and straight across. The sticker that I used is back to the sticker sheet. Now, a lot of these you would have already used on your album, but this one right here, you should have left. And you can decide if you want to place it directly on here or if you want to use some of your foam dots or any kind of dimensional adhesive that you have to raise it up. For purposes of this tonight, I'm just going to place it right on the gold. I lined it up with the top of that gold piece that we added when I did mine. You can certainly lift it a little higher. As a matter of fact, on this one, I'm going to do that just to allow a little bit more of the gold to show. And so mine's about 1/4 of an inch up over the gold foil paper, and then I just adhered the sticker. If you want certainly you can add some additional sparkle to this with either some glitter gems or some stickles. I didn't because I wanted to kind of keep this as a very subtle farmhousey sort of look. So I left it just as it is. And that card's done. That's a pretty fast one. So I'm going to put it back in the envelope. So I've got that together. And that's ready to go out in the mail. So there's the first card. Okay, that one was pretty easy. The next one we're going to do is this Christmas cheer card. And I actually pre-stamped and pre-cut the words Christmas cheer and the poinsettia here. I did add a little bit of gold stickles in the middle of the poinsettia. You can use whatever you have, whether it's stickles or gems, if you just want to do a marker and kind of enhance that a little bit, or cut a piece of shimmer trim or glitter paper, whatever you have. I just wanted a little bit more sparkle on the poinsettia. So the card should say poinsettia in the upper right-hand corner. Take it carefully out of your envelope. And inside are the pieces that you'll need to do this card assembly. So actually, I'm going to turn those over. There's quite a few pieces for this one, as you can see right here. But everything's been pre-cut, so it's really just a matter of you putting it together. I'm going to start at the top. Now, if you wanted, I'm using the red side. The other side of this is a holly berry. So actually, I'll show you what that kind of would look like. If you wanted to do that, you're going to have the green next to that. You'll have your Christmas cheer, and you'll have your poinsettias. That actually looks pretty. So it's up to you. Just make sure you don't put the adhesive down until you decide which side you want to use. This is going to have about 1/8 of an inch border all the way around on your card base. The next piece that I'm going to do, I'm going to start at the top, go to the bottom, and then fill in the middle. And that's really just to make sure that I have everything spaced pretty evenly. So I'm going to do the gold foil. Again, this is going to be 1/8 of an inch off the bottom and on both of the sides. You can kind of just see that. I'm going to straighten this a little. I don't think I have it on quite straight. Yeah, there we go. Okay. The next piece I'm going to do is the middle, and then I can use these 2 green strips to fill in however I need to. Now, it looks like when I cut this, I actually cut it so everything is going to line up next to each other, which is good. I don't think I'm going to actually have any white space, but that's why I tend to do the top, the bottom, and then the middle, just in case there's white space in there. So, and there actually is a little tiny bit. So I'm going to put the middle in next, and then I'll do these green strips last, and that way I can just place them however I want them. If there happen to be a white space in there, then these would cover that. It doesn't look like I have one, so I can place them however I want. I'm actually this one has a little tiny bit of white, so I'm just gonna cover that just slightly. And actually, I'm noticing that my green is a little long here, so I'm just going to trim it just to make that the same. Okay. The next thing I'll do is place the Christmas cheer on here. And you can really put it wherever you want. Go down over the green a little, go up over the green. It fits pretty well, though, the way this card was designed, so I think it's going to be fine just to put it kind of right in the middle. So there's the Christmas cheer. And then the poinsettia, how do you pronounce it? Poinsettia. I am going to actually use one of my foam dots to raise it up just a little bit between the layers. And let me see, Let's see if a larger one will fit on here. I think it will. I'm going to put it on the back of the top layer. Just center it to make sure that it doesn't show. And this is the thin 3D foam dots. You can use a thicker one, but I'm using a thin one. And just kind of turn the poinsettia until you want to make sure that you can see the layer of the flower below it, and place it down. And then I'm going to just put it on my card without any foam dot. I'm going to just put it on with my adhesive. And it's okay if it covers the S a little. As you can see, this one does too, because it's an implied. You definitely can tell what that says without, even if you cover it a little. So there you go. I'm just turning the poinsettia until it looks like it's not completely covering the S, and it will still fit in my envelope. And then you can put whatever you're going to put in the middle of the poinsettia on the bottom. I'm actually going to move this up a little. I think it's too low, so I'm going to lift it up and just do it a little bit higher. Totally an eye thing, whatever you think, however you like it positioned on there. And let's see, I want to make sure I can see the S. There we go. That's good. And then if you want, you can bend your poinsettias up a little, or you can bend them down. I just use my thumbnail, and I curl them just a little. Now, if you put these in an envelope and mail them, they're going to probably flatten out some. But I think a little bit of that texture is still going to stay even after it's in an envelope. So that's just another little tip in terms of how you can make that poinsettia look a little bit more realistic. So that card is done. You can add either more glitter or more stickles, whatever you want to do. If you want to add some more sparkle to it, you can certainly do that. But I think it's very pretty just as it is. And the gold does have a nice little shimmer to it from the foil paper. So I'm going to put this one back in this envelope. And I've got another card ready to mail. I'm so excited. Okay, the next card that we'll do, let's try this one. So I've already prepared the base. So let me take this out. This should say gold in the upper left-hand corner of your card kit. So let's see what's inside. And you should have these pieces. You should have a gold foil base that we're going to put on first. Then you should have this piece of white cardstock that's already been, the glitter gel's already been applied. And oh my goodness. I mean, I love, love, love. Look at the little stars. It's just so pretty. I just love this card. To me, it's just really cheerful and classic. I just love it. So you're going to put the gold foil piece on first. Make sure your card's opening to the bottom. And it's, again, about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. That's typically how I do my cards. Almost always. Once in a while, I'll cover the whole base. And just turn this however you like. Keep in mind that the lower left-hand corner is going to have this little bit of it's going to have a snowflake, and it's going to have a little bit of the gold, like flourish here and the leaves. So I kind of envisioned it that the heavier part of the glitter would be underneath the snowflake, and it would kind of be going off to the upper right, or upper right-hand corner. So I'm going to do mine this way, but certainly you can choose to do this however you would like. So, I don't know which way I like it better. I'm going to put it down like that. I've made my decision, and it's 1/8 of an inch all the way around. Now, just like in the mini album, I am not going to pull the sticker off, even though I did for the last one. This snowflake is this one right here. And this flourish is either this one right here or this one right here, whichever one you didn't use on your mini album. And you're going to use, in this case, you're going to use just about the whole flourish. If when you put it on your card, and you're going to do that first, this little bit right here is showing under the snowflake, just cut the end of it off and just put the snowflake above it. So the flourish is going to go on first in the lower left-hand corner right here. And then you're going to take your snowflake, and I did use the foam dots to pop that up, the foam adhesive, just to get it off the card just a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show it on the video enough, but it is popped up just a slight bit. Then your stamped Merry Christmas, you're going to put your adhesive on, and it's going to go just slightly under the snowflake, but over the flourish. You can kind of see, and then tape it down. Now, I did not raise that up, but you could. You could put it over the snowflake if you prefer it that way. I thought, though, because the stamp had kind of that little pointy part to it, it fit in really nicely under the snowflake, and it kind of made it just flow nicely. So flourish, snowflake popped up, Merry Memories adhered down on your card, and then that one's going to be done. I love this card. I love sparkle. Love, love, love sparkle. Okay, there's this one. And again, there's another view of it finished. Okay, the next card we're going to do is a shaker card. And in your kit, you're going to use stickers again. In your kit, I actually already pre-built the shaker itself because I thought it would be easier than trying to have you make sure you had the adhesives and do it while you're doing the class. But I will tell you what I did. So the background of this is actually a green piece of cardstock. Well, no, actually, let me start at the beginning. So the first thing I did here was put the scarlet red cardstock on the base. And same with this one, make sure your base is opening down. So I put that on first. Then I put the green pattern paper on. So I'm going to do that. And this is pretty much centered. I mean, if you look at my sample, there's about 3/8 of an inch all the way around this green piece of cardstock of the scarlet that's showing. Now, this is what I built for you. Some of you got plain white cardstock. You may have gotten the striped cardstock. I kind of thought about this two different ways, and so I did the cards a little bit differently. The final look is going to be great no matter which one you got. So what I did was I used an adhesive that has enough depth that when I put the acrylic piece over the top and the sequins inside, they're going to move around. So you can use any kind of foam tape that you have that would give you that depth. Now, Close to My Heart does offer packages of rectangle acetate sheets, the foam rectangles to put on to make your shaker. I didn't use them because there was so many of these cards that I was making. I didn't have enough of the same size in one package to produce as many of the kits as I needed. So I built my own. But the rectangular shaker card kits that you can get from Close to My Heart are amazing if you're doing cards just for yourself. And you'll get enough to make, I think it's 6 different rectangular shakers in a pack. So just so you know, I built this. It looks like when you set it down, you're going to have 1/8 of an inch all the way around. You're going to use your Joy stickers from your sticker sheet, J-O-Y, right there. Oh, I just realized I used a poinsettia in the middle, but I did not give you poinsettias in your kits. Instead, I have you using the J-O-Y. So let me show you that assembly. So you're going to have to start with the O. That's going to be in the middle. And the Y, and I did that first so that I could space this really well. So the Y is going to be next to it. You've got a little bit of room, or you can overlap it, however you prefer. So I'm going to do it right there. And then the J. So this looks spaced pretty well, actually. I'm going to overlap the J just a little bit, just so that I have kind of a similar amount of space between the Y and the edge and the J and the edge. So there's your Joy. Now, what I would do next is actually adhere this to your base. Okay. Then you're going to drop your sequins in. And I don't have my sequins to do the demo right now. So, but you're going to drop your sequins in. You're going to lift off the tape from your base, and you're going to set the acetate sheet on top, and it will adhere to that. Then you're going to take this gold base that came with your kit. You're going to put your tape or glue on it, and you're going to glue it right to the top of that. Okay, I didn't do that because I didn't put my sequins in. I know you have sequins of some sort, whether it's gold or red, or if you want to use beads, whatever you want to use inside of there, then it'll work. And you've got plenty of room with this tape that I made the shaker out of already for you. So I'll finish this later and put my sequins in and put the top on, but that will finish that card. So I'm going to move that one to the side. Now the last card, I had a couple ideas for this one. This is actually also using a sticker from your sticker sheet. It's a slimline card. In your kit, you got the materials to make it and an envelope that the card will fit inside of. I think these are actually standard size business envelopes, but I ordered them specifically for the slimline cards. I have white ones, I have like a French vanilla color, and so that came with your kit. I didn't label that because it's the only slimline one that you have. But when I was thinking about this card, I thought that a lot of people like to include pictures in their Christmas cards, and many of them actually get them printed and mail out a printed card. Well, in this case, what's been created is a card, and then you can put your own photograph of a 3x4 size and a 3x3 size right in the card, and then you can write at the top. Well, then as I was thinking about it, actually just today, I was looking at this card and I thought, you could actually cut this card down the middle, and you could use it in an 8x10 frame with just a little bit of matting around the edge and make it something that's frameable, because it would fit in an 8x10 frame with a border around it. You could have this on the top, and then this could actually be on the bottom, and it's something that you could save for this year as a framed memory of the holiday. So it was just something else that I thought of today, but it was designed as a card. So in your kit, you should have this that's already had the stickle gel applied, your gold foil banner to go underneath it, and the 2 pieces for the card itself. Now, I did make it a little different. I cut this so that it has the scarlet first, and in my sample, I did not do that. But as I was playing around making these kits, it occurred to me that it might be pretty to have this offset with a color behind it. If you don't want to use it, certainly you don't have to, but I thought it looked pretty. And then you can use either side of this paper for the card itself, whether it's the plaid or the poinsettia. Now, the plaid with the sticker might not, I don't know if I like it as much. It would work, but I like that the poinsettia has the same New England ivy green in the paper as what the sticker is. So I'm going to go ahead and use the poinsettia paper. But you can decide how you want to do this. So there's my base. It's got about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. And then here is the poinsettia paper. I don't know. Sometimes it appears there's a direction, at least to my eye, but there's really not. But there's usually a way that I like it better than the other way, so I turned this one. This has already been cut and the stickles have already been applied. I knew how long they take to dry, and I didn't want you to have to wait while you're making your cards. I wanted you to be able to just sit down and quickly assemble. I did bend this a little. If you can see, it's sticking up just a little bit. I didn't tape the whole thing down. That's totally up to you. I didn't because I kind of wanted it to look like a ribbon, and so yours should fit. Just you're going to have to kind of jiggle it around a little until you've got about 1/8 of an inch all the way around, and you can see. So I didn't stick these down. You could. You could also use your foam dots and raise it up if you prefer to do that. I'm not going to put the sticker on the front because I need the sticker, but you would just place this sticker in the middle of your card, and your front would be done. If you find, because the sticker is going to cover part of the glitter gel, if you find that it's not sticking well in those areas, just take a little bit of whatever liquid glue you would normally use, whether it's Close to My Heart liquid glass or the Tombow liquid glue that's in our catalog. Whatever liquid glue you have might be needed. Your tape runner might not stick to this glitter gel as well as you would want it to. So just put a little bit of liquid glue between the sticker and this, and you'll be fine. Okay, so now I'm going to do the inside of the card, and all you need to do, excuse me, oh, I hit my camera. Sorry about that. All you need to do is tape your 2 photo mats down. Let me open them. Actually, I'm not going to tape it too well yet because I want to space them and make sure that they're good. So I've got my tape on both, and I think I did about 1/4 of an inch off the left edge, maybe a slight bit more. It almost looks like it's like 3/8. And then I did the same on this side. So you do have a space in the middle, and that looks pretty much the way I did the sample. So it might even be a 1/2 inch off the left. It really doesn't matter as long as you've kind of got about an equal amount of spacing between those. And then you can put your pictures right down on that part of the card. So I'm going to put this one away. And that one's done. That card is done. I love it. So that, my friends, is the card assembly. And I hope, let me just get these back out, just so you have another view in case you need it. But I hope you love them. I know I do. And now that I've done the class, I can actually mail these, which I've been really excited to do. So I hope you'll join me next time. I hope you had a great time with the class. I'm going to be doing a couple in January, and I'll make sure that they get posted on my Facebook page. Have a great holiday, and thank you so much for joining. Please post your finished cards, especially if you've changed anything up. I love to see the creativity that you all come up with. It's just great. So thank you. I'll see you again soon.